It won't connect. I only got local access. Can't even hang up.
Well, Mike, bring it into my place, okay, and see if you get the signal better, okay?
It'll come up in a second. It did this.
This is important to me, okay, because what you're saying, okay, I can understand, and I fucking believe in it.
Okay, I got it.
I mean, you showed me the proof.
Got it. No, they have, permanent magnet motors. All you gotta do is crank the bitch over and get it spinning good, and it'll start picking up speed, picking up speed, picking up speed. And it's just permanent magnets, neodymium magnets. That's configured in such a way that they're pulling and pushing each other. And once you get them going, man, they just keep going. And they also generate electricity. And, okay, anti-gravity.
Anti-gravity?
Here's the company that sells neodymium.
Well, I'm not worried about that. Show me the explanation of
magnet motor concept, how magnetic shielding works. Might be this one.
Hurry up. Dan's gonna come fucking here and give me a hard time.
Dan usually when he leaves and walks her home,
he shoves his cock into her mouth.
He tries to.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's how they work.
Put it here, Mike. Right
Here's
here, on the table.
Here's the company that sells them.
Very strong neodymium magnets. Here I have a metal file. With it, I'll show you how magnetic shielding works. I'm using this metal file for two reasons. One of the reasons
This is just how to do shielding for when you're making the motors.
Permeability, and the stronger the permeability, the more a magnet will be attracted to it. And the second reason I'm using it is because the gauge gets gradually smaller at the end.
Bunch of them.
I'll show you how this comes into play in just a minute. Okay, now here I made a contraption out of cardboard to hold the two magnets into place. They're in attraction mode.
Can you send me the links on email?
This demonstration, and now I'll show you how magnetic shielding.
Well, once you go to a site,
okay,
it'll you know.
I'll get this. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Which one's the best one?
See here, it's tough to pull them apart by putting the metal in between them.
Here's one that looks like it might show some good.
Did it actually working?
Here you see a prototype of a mini magnet motor.
Japanese.
Mini magnet motors, so those are neodymium magnets.
Cylindrical magnets here.
They gotta put them at an angle, so the
3 times 16.
No,
So
French.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
French.
7,
He's
8,
French.
and every time 2. So
But
you have.
I haven't seen that. There's one of these where there's a guy in Australia that was, and this was years ago.
Right.
He's saying, well, not a lot of years ago, but a couple of years, 3 years probably at least ago, that he already had one. He demonstrated one. He had a unit. It's about the size of a, like a, I guess
You think
a generator, a storm generator, right? About the size of that. And it's freaking cranking the bitch up and it's going, you know, and it's putting out the power. And he says, I've had electronic engineers.
Do you remember what city of Australia, his name? But he had a live working
and he said,
magnetic power generator.
He had investors, and he was saying he was, you know, planning on going into production, and they cost about $3,000, and one unit would be enough to power a normal size home.
This is boring, Mike.
Yeah. Anyway, there's all examples. These are all on the same principle. Here's one using the magnets from hard drives. You know. Anyway, so there's a whole bunch of them. You gotta go through them.
Looks like everybody likes to show the parts and talk about it, but they're fucking scared out of their wits to fucking make it work.
They don't know how to.
Well, maybe they're fucking.
Here you go. Brisbane. This might be it.
Brisbane.
I don't know. No, this ain't it. No, this ain't it.
Free power, mate.
What Chaz says he's done in a small garage in a suburban unit, shipping it around for 3 years, is essentially against physics.
Using a very small portion of electricity, you can generate anything up to 10 times as much free power.
Yeah. They just use electric motor instead of a hand crank to get it going.
Driven by an 800-watt electric motor, turns a 3,500-watt alternator. It then drives a 2,500-watt circular saw, a drill, and lights, and a fan. I can make one of these that'll drive 1,000-watt kVA, 1,000 kVA,
It's
which is 1 megawatt.
Class Campbell free energy generator.
Scientists doubt it.
But if you can get more energy out than you put in, then you can create a perpetual motion machine. So you can build a machine that has infinite amount of energy.
This the Australians once was a real.
This is the one you were talking about.
No, it's not. No, this guy had a. It was a metal unit. It wasn't. Didn't look like that.
It didn't look like fucking
circus show.
Charlie.
Yeah, the chocolate factory.
Charlie in the chocolate factory, the Oompa Loompa
it looked
licorice machine.
It looked like a generator.
Cheaper, cleaner power. He should be commended for trying.
And it was a real video, but it was from a news clip too.
So his thing that works or doesn't?
It does.
Oh, okay. Well, then no sweat.
This guy's works. It works anyway, because of the power of magnets, permanent magnets. It's using the so
Neutronium.
And they're like saying it can't work.
Is that what you call it? Neutronium?
Neodymium.
Neodymium, like neo-Nazi. Neodymium.
Yeah, neodymium. Where was the first one?
Mike, you were fucking talking about this fucking 5 or 6 years ago.
I'm going to demonstrate
Yeah,
and
well,
explain how magnetic shielding works.
I've been learning
And
about
also,
it.
I'm going to try to explain a
Anyway.
magnetic
Internet
concept
helps.
that I've seen a couple of people
Magnets.
post on YouTube.
Magnets.
Okay, here I have two
Where'd the
very strong
neodymium commercial go?
magnets.
It
Here I
doesn't
have a
matter.
metal file.
Anyway,
With it, I'll show you how magnetic shielding works. I'm
just
using
go
this
into
metal file for
magnet
two
motor
reasons. One of the
concept
reasons is
or
that
magnet
the file
motors.
is mostly made of iron.
Solid
Iron has high
magnet motor.
permeability, and the stronger the
All right, I'll do that.
the more a magnet will be.
Actually, one of my
Go into neodymium.
good friends is in Queensland, in Australia. He's hooked up on my Facebook. He's my friend. I only can talk to him like at midnight because it's daylight over there when it's night here. But this guy raises herbs. He's into spiritual aliens. I mean, the works. And he would fucking flip out on this. Okay.
Neodymium.
I'll have him track it down, Mike. I'll have him ask around. Okay.
About neodymium?
Yes. No, the guy that you were talking about, the investor. Okay. I'll tell him there's a video. I'll show him the YouTube, the Campbell one, and then I'll say there was another guy who actually made a generator somewhere in Australia. But
Had a bunch
can you
of
find him?
engineers
Yeah.
and
All he'll do.
electronic engineers look at it and they all said that it was real.
Thumbs up, mate.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. There's also one where this Quaker guy has one in his attic that he built. I think it's in an attic. And he shows it. No? Did he crank it up or he had a little electric motor to get it started? And then he unplugs the electric motor and it keeps going. And now it's generating power and it's lighting up all these spotlights.
Well, listen, do yourself a favor, okay? Now that you're a little bit high,
so there's people around the world that are making these already.
concentrate on this. Are you still got your plans, or are you still working on them?
I still have them. I haven't worked out the electronics end of it. I worked out the engineering. Mostly it was how to configure the magnets and the firing order that I had to use on the electric magnets end of it, because mine is a conventional, well, it's not conventional, but it works similar to a regular electric motor, except for it's digitally controlled and it doesn't have a stator.
Dan's not going to come back until he gets his rocks off, which is never.
Dan will hang around there on her for a while, trying to squeeze her ass or something until she throws his ass out. And he'll come home.
What is she, drunk? A lush?
Yeah, but she just got a job, so she's not drinking lately.
Really? Well, she fooled me.
Yeah, no, she wasn't real drunk tonight.
Really?
Much.
Not much. She
That
could
girl,
walk.
She could drink. That girl likes to drink.
Yeah.
See,
Listen,
yeah.
buddy, I'm fucking cranked up. I want to go on the internet.
It's only supposed to get down to 60 tonight.
Okay, well then I was wrong.
Yeah.
No, actually, Bay News 9 was fucking wrong.
Yeah, it says it's 62 now, and it's gonna get down to 60.
Whatever. It's still cold for me.
It's gonna be a high of 69 tomorrow.
That's cool.
Yeah, but nice.
That's cooler than a frickin' air conditioner.
Yeah, but it's nice.
Yeah, it is.
Out there, and it could shut this down.
Well, listen, Mike, you got my deepest thanks. Trade, okay? I got you high, and you got me fucking thinking.
Yeah, man, I had to make out discs.
Yeah?
For my fucking motor, and then I put and then draw lines exactly where every permanent magnet was going to be, and then draw where every electric magnets, because there's twice as many electromagnets as there is permanent magnets. And then I had to figure out a firing order that would a lot of things. I had to do a lot of different things. And it took me a couple of months to work it out.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It did.
Well, take a couple more puffs on that pipe and maybe you can solve the equation tonight.
No, I've got that all worked out. I actually have 2 firing orders that work. But one I prefer, for sure. And but it's the electronics. I have to have, and I know the electronics. I know that I need to, but I just don't know.
All right. I was going to ask you, what's Ginger's last name?